Hey guys, Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I want to run you through this fun tag and broom pen treat. I found these fun broom pens on Amazon and used them in my class this month. I had a couple left over and thought this would be a fun way to give the teachers a gift. We make a box in the online classroom, and in this video we're going to make this tag. So there it is, and let's get right into it. The supplies that you need, Stampin' Up! Supplies that you need to make this tag are Crepe It Real. It's brand new from the holiday catalog, and we're going to use this witch image. Pick a pumpkin, and we're going to use this little jack-o'-lantern face. My trick-or-treat greeting is from Seasonal Chums. And I used the burlap background to give this little pen holder here some texture. So you see it is the everyday label punch, and I stamped it with the burlap background, and that's what holds our pen on this tag. Okay, and then I used my bouquet bunch framelits for this tiny little tag here. Stitch Shapes framelits is for this watercolor paper that the witch is stamped on. I used my Baker's Box Thinlits dies. These are retired, so feel free to grab your layering circles or anything else that you have. I liked this little pinking edge circle. You can get a pinking circle set if you've got one out. And then I also used the Trim Your Stocking Thinlits dies for this little ball fringe piece right here. I thought that was a fun little detail at the bottom of the tag. Our Stampin' pads for this project are Basic Black and Fresh Fig. You'll also need for this project a 5/16 circle punch. Now this is not a Stampin' Up! Circle punch. Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry this size. So you'll find sources for the 5/16 circle punch and for the broom, which I got both on Amazon, below the video. I've got the printable project sheet, so no need to write down the measurements. I even use it for a cheat sheet. Basic Black, 9 1/4 by 2. What's this one called? Eastern Palace Designer Series paper on this. I only had a 6x6 sampler from a team sampler that I did. You can use a 2x8 piece. These are two 2x4 pieces, and I'm gonna fake it in the middle and cover with the label. So you could use one continuous piece. It'd be a little bit easier. You'll need Fresh Fig. And if you had a 2x2, you could cut this little pinking circle, and a 2x2 3/4 for the label. Or if you had, a bigger scrap, that'd be fine. You also need to do these little ball fringe. So another, 1 inch by 3 inches to do the ball fringe. I've got a length of Basic Black shimmer ribbon. This is about 14 inches. A length of solid baker's twine. This is about 9 inches. I've got some watercolor paper. If you have a piece that's about, 1 3/4 square, you can get this stitched circle. This is the 1 3/8 stitched circle. And then a scrap of Whisper White. This is 1/2 inch by 3. That's plenty to do the sentiment. And the broom, which is broom pen. I got that on Amazon. There's a source below. And I'm just gonna peel the little tag off of there. Okay, lastly, the Stampin' Up! Punches that you need. I've got the scallop tag topper and the everyday labels punch. I already mentioned the everyday labels, but those are the two punches we'll be using today. Okay, let's get started here. I think we'll start with stamping. So I'm gonna clear away, get the Stampin' Pierce mat, and we'll do our stamping first. Okay, I've got my Basic Black and my Fresh Fig. And let's start with our Basic Black. I've got the little witch image from Crepe It Real, and we're gonna stamp that one on our stitched circle. And Trick or Treat from Seasonal Chums, we'll stamp that on our little Whisper White scrap. Looking good. Now, I am going to stamp my everyday label with the burlap background. So we'll move that aside for a minute. I'm gonna ink up just the center of this burlap. And then put my label piece right in the middle there, trying to kind of keep the burlap pattern straight. Here's my little project sheet. I'm going to use that as scratch paper today. You can print this at kitchentablestamper.com. It's got a full color photograph, all the measurements, dimensions, and a supply list. All right. So there's our label. Now, I didn't mention this at the beginning. We're going to color our witch, and we're just going to use our Stampin' Right markers in Lemon Lime Twist and Basic Black and a blender pen. So I've got my acrylic block here with the witch on it, and I'm going to scribble some Lemon Lime Twist on one of the corners. And then I'm going to use that as a palette, pick up the color, and color in my little witchy. So I'm coloring her in just with one little coat of the Lemon Lime Twist, and then I'm adding a shadow along her forehead where the hat would cast a shadow. So I'm going back with a little more. Now the fun part about these markers on watercolor paper is that you can go in with the marker also, and then you can blend it and get a soft blended effect. Now I need my paper, get my project sheet again. I'm going to scribble off the Lemon Lime Twist, turn my block and move to Basic Black. We're going to do the hat the same way. So pick up the Basic Black, and I'm going to go down the left side here and add the Basic Black at its strongest concentration, and then move across the rest of the hat. Then I'll pick up some more and really make a shadow here on the left side. The thing about black is you don't ever want solid black, because then it looks like blackout. Really black looks most black if it's just shades of gray. So that's what we're looking for here. Okay, there's our little witch, and you can see that she's got that little shadow on her forehead where the hat would cast a shadow. And the hat looks nice and dimensional because it's not solid black. Okay, we've got our coloring done and our Stampin' is mostly done. I've got a little piece of pumpkin pie, about 1 inch by 1 1/4 inch, and we're gonna die cut this bitty tag. So, got the Big Shot, and it's set up for die cutting. We've got our platform, thin die adapter, cutting pad, a little scrap of pumpkin pie. Let's run that through. I did all the other die cutting ahead of time, but here's that little tag. Isn't that the cutest little thing you ever saw? Okay, let's stamp a face on that. Basic Black ink again, and my little jack-o'-lantern face. And we're gonna stamp that right on the tag. Ha, what a cutie, don't you think? Stamping's done, let's do some punching. I've got that scallop tag topper and my tag. Let's just make sure that we've got it centered. I like to look through the back and just make sure that it's going to come out perfectly. I don't want a lopsided tag, but be careful, keep your hands away, don't pinch them. Now, I need my snail adhesive, and we're going to add the pattern paper. Let's get my sample back in here so you can see what we're doing. There. Can you see that? This one's a long one to try to fit in the camera view. So, you know what? I'm going to work from the bottom up since I've got 2 pieces here. You just center it if you make an 8-inch piece. Got another pack of this paper coming next week, so when I make these for the teachers, I'll be using a continuous, maybe 8 1/4 inches. All right, so there's our designer series paper. Now let's work on our label here. This is where you need the 5/16 circle punch, and what you want to do is punch a circle right centered in the everyday label loop here. All right, I think that was pretty good. Yeah, not bad. I've done it a few times. And then you just want to roll the label between your thumb and forefinger. And you're just softening the paper fibers and making it easier to put that pen through those little holes. All right, now we need some tear and tape here, and we're going to put tear and tape where these two pieces meet, or right in center if you use it one solid piece. And then we'll put the label covering our gap. Like I said, you don't have to have the gap there. I just didn't have a piece of paper long enough. All right, so we're really getting somewhere. While we're at it, let's go ahead and tie this shimmer ribbon into a bow at the top of our tag. I really love this shimmer ribbon. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's got such a beautiful silver glitter in it, but it's not rough or rigid. It ties up really pretty. And the ends don't fray. It's really a nice ribbon. So trim off the excess. It looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got the multi-purpose liquid glue and my paper snips here. And we want to trim this ball fringe so that it goes across the bottom of our pattern paper. So I'm going to trim off just this little last one here. And I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, so then we're going to add that on with a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And you don't want to go all the way to the bottom of the ball fringe because it hangs off the tag just a little bit. See, because it hangs off the end of the tag. We just end up gluing it to our table. All right, so there it is. There's our tag. Let's work on our greeting now. So there's our little witch's broom pen all set in our tag. Let's take trick or treat. And what I did was I just trimmed it down really minimal and kind of adhered it ransom note style. So I'm trimming it really close and then cutting it into 3 pieces. We can adhere that with multi-purpose liquid glue. Last, let's assemble our little tag and get it tied on. So I've got a Stampin' dimensional here, and I'm going to put it on the back of my little witch and center this on that pinking circle. Then I've got a 1/8 inch circle punch, and we're going to punch a little hole in the tag. Then we'll thread it on to the this thick baker's twine. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the little pumpkin. Thread him on back to front. And then I'm going to add just a little dab of multi-purpose liquid glue right below the thread, because I'm going to glue these two together. I don't want him going every which way. Then we'll put this tag right through here. So it might be easier if you slide the pen back. Then tie the tag on with a bow. Haha, look how cute. All right, my ends are a little shredded, so I'm going to trim them. And let's get the cap back on the pen. See, it's got a little bit of plastic there from the mold that was making it hard to get through the 5/16 hole. So if you find that, just trim it off. It trimmed right off with the snips, real easy. And then just slide it right back in. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Oh my gosh. I think the teachers are gonna go wild over that. What a fun trick or treat, huh? All right, so here they are. Here's our witch's broom pen treats. If you've got any questions about this project, if there's anything Stampin' Up! I can do for you, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.